Well, guys, we are here already, episode 10. I can't believe it. Probably have maybe 3, 4 episodes left for this season, but I had to go ahead and reach out to Commander Jesse. This is a guy who's, you've probably seen him a couple times on the Instagram, on the YouTube. But Jesse, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Super nice episode tonight, everybody. We're going to talk about 2026. I do know we have about 5 to 6 weeks left of 2025, which is just insane to say.
Mm,
But nevertheless, we have an insane year of Star Wars ahead of us. We have Maul Shadow Lord, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka season 2, and those are just the big names to keep an eye out for this year. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but I kind of wanted to start this off. I mean, Jesse,
yep,
you quit your full-time job, bro.
I
You are
did.
doing content now. And I don't know if anyone has talked to you yet. I haven't tapped in with anything that you've been on recently or if you've been
Yep,
on other shows. I know you just
yep,
talked to Ray Side. I don't know if you've talked about it,
yep.
but what is it like, man? Is it a relief? How are you feeling initially?
Yeah. I mean, it's a mix between very happy and absolutely terrifying. um, yeah, it's the first time. I'm only 25, and this I've always had like a job since I finished high school. So yeah, this is my first time being unemployed, I guess, and yeah, I don't know, it's a bit scary, but it's fun because I get to do what I love every day now. And see where I can go with it, see if I can build something. But yeah, yeah, at the moment, yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with it. I'm sort of This is my second week since I quit my job, and so now, yeah, I'm just getting to the hang of how I want to structure my week, sort of playing around with a few things, seeing how people respond to it, see how I respond to it, how I'm going with it, and yeah, sort of just building from there. But yeah, I'm actually writing a script at the moment for my next lore video that'll come out in a couple of days. So yeah, should be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude. There's nothing better than writing scripts for your videos because I feel
Yeah,
like there's so many things you want to leave out, especially if you're just going right off the top of the head. But I mean,
yeah,
if you jot some things down and you plan ahead, I mean, you're going to be used to a lot of planning. This is you
yeah.
now.
This is me
Which
now.
is it's crazy, man. Good for you. But that's also cool though too because you feel that emptiness go away. Now
Mm,
you're not tied down. You're
yeah,
not doing, something maybe I don't know what your last job was, but I don't know if it was too much. So now
yeah.
you ain't even got to worry about that no more. So
No,
now it's filled with Star Wars and creating
it is.
content, editing hours upon
Yeah,
hours. You got time now, man. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll have a lot of fun with it and yeah, enjoy it while I can. But yeah, it should be fun.
Absolutely. And that's cool though because this is just the beginning. And I mean in by tomorrow, in 2 weeks, you'll know exactly what road you're going down. So good for you, man.
100%.
That's cool.
Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
Thanks, man.
Um but yeah, I did notice I was looking through your Instagram page and I noticed you
Mm.
had some Funkos on the side. I see some collectibles. What's your favorite thing to collect in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, favorite thing. I was gonna say I haven't bought a Funko in a while, but Jesse just got two. He got one and he got a Chase one as well. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to get both of those. Yeah, Funkos and then the Black Series, the ones with like little murals on the side. They're the two that I sort of get the most of, but I haven't really got many of them recently. I have got I've got a Vader Hot Toys as well.
Ooh.
Because I've got, where is it? This tattoo here I got done.
Mhm.
I got it done a few months after the episode aired, and all we really, because if like you'll remember, the lighting for that battle scene wasn't like, it was
Oh
quite
yeah.
dark. It was quite dark, and so my tattoo artist, he was like, I'll find some photos and things like that to model it on. And I think that was when the Hot Toys had just got announced. And so he actually used that to model off for the tattoo. So I was like, I have to get the Hot Toys now because then it looks cool. I've got the tattoo and then I've got the Hot Toys themselves. Got a couple helmets, the Hasbro ones, and then I also I've got a friend who does 3D printing. He's quite into that, so he made me a Commander Jesse helmet. And I think Disney
Beautiful.
just released one as well. Um, but yeah, yeah, Black Series and Funkos are the ones I probably do the most. You'd see I've got a couple lightsabers back there as well,
Yeah.
Lego as well. So I sort of dabble in a little bit here and there, but there's a lot to keep up with. There's a lot to keep up with. I haven't even tried the vintage stuff. I'd be lost. But yeah,
Oh,
there's
dude. Yeah.
yeah,
There'll be times where like my dad will come over and like bring me some, vintage or like
yeah,
old retro like Kenner toys, and I'm like, he's
Yeah,
like, yeah, this is what I used to have, and I'm like, that you just can't keep bringing stuff, I
yeah.
don't know where
It's
I'm
too
running out
much.
of wall space. It's so I'm glad it's every now and again, but at the same time,
Yeah,
always appreciative of it. But yeah, there's
100%.
so many
So
things to
much to
collect
keep
in
up
Star
with.
Wars, especially like on my side, I'm more so like Funko and Lego. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously you can tell a little bit, but
I
that's
see
what
a
I
bit going
try to
on.
I try to stick to those two pretty well. But I mean, I'm a huge Quinlan Voss guy, so I'm so
Ooh,
happy that he's getting his own Black Series coming up in April, I
yeah.
believe. I went ahead and hit the pre-order for two of them. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. But I'm also scared that's going to lure me in to more Black Series. So
Yeah.
man, it's going to be treacherous.
They look so nice when you stack them next to each other and you get the whole mural going. Yeah,
Mm.
it gets a bit addicting when you see that. So yeah,
Yeah, I've seen some collections where they do just keep them in box and kind of like line them up along a
yeah,
shelf. And I mean, some of that artwork is awesome. It's
mm,
basically like, to me, it looks like its own twist of what the
yeah,
character would look like in kind of like an animated form, but more so just
yeah,
like a good drawing. So yeah, I always appreciate seeing those like at Target. And some of them, like, damn, I need to pick that up. But
yeah,
I think the Bad Batch for Black Series, I believe the Omega one. When I saw that, I was like, dude, I'm gonna need that one. So, but I still haven't picked it up. But it's always tempting.
yeah. I was gonna say I was almost gonna try and pull it out. It's there somewhere, but I do have the Omega one floating around.
Yeah, they're pretty clean, man. I always enjoy especially talking with like other collectors, because
Mm,
something I've noticed, like a couple of years ago, I kind of started my Instagram page, and I was just kind of, looking through, seeing what people are into.
yeah,
Basically I just like started my Instagram page to like show off some of my collection.
yeah,
But seeing everyone else's collections, I'm like, wow, there's like not a single collection where it's like, oh yeah, this guy's is like this chick's, or this chick's is like this other chick. No,
yeah,
everyone's collection's completely different. And that's
yeah.
something I can always appreciate. But yeah, dude, collecting is such an amazing thing. I mean, there's so many other podcasters out there that talk about, their Star Wars collections, and
Yeah,
it's always nice to see new people and, what their taste is.
100%. I love seeing how people like set it up too. Like your display back there is sick. Do I see? Is that Jabba's barge back there as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, sick, dude.
that's my baby.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually the
beautiful.
most expensive Lego I have in my collection.
Yeah, no, that's a
So that's
sick set, dude.
she's the baby.
Yeah.
I actually was gonna pick that up, but my son was born right around the same time. So I'm like, look, I can't
Mm.
spend $500, on the set yet. But
Yeah,
a little bit after my birthday, I was like, okay, we can pull the trigger.
it's time.
So it was beautiful, man. It was a good set. It took me a little bit. I mean, it took
Yeah,
me probably like a week. Did about, little 2 hour sessions at night, got it
yeah,
done. And I mean, yeah, dude, it's beautiful. I know you only see half of it, but man,
yeah,
that's easily my favorite in my collection right now.
yeah. No, it's a sick set. That's definitely one on my list for the future.
Yeah. Hoping it drops down in price so more people can pick it up, because I mean, a lot of people do have it, but at the same time,
Mm.
more people could have it. It could be like a UCS Venator or the Millennium Falcon that a lot of people have. It
Yeah.
could be out there. But what do you think of the UCS Death Star?
Oh, dude, I I like it, but I also don't like the back because I didn't realize what the back of it looked like until like I actually
Oh
did like
yeah,
a full deep dive into it. The front of it's like beautiful. I absolutely love it, but man, I would have loved for that back half to be like the actual Death Star, like a full curve and everything. Yeah, I don't
have
really.
something.
Yeah, I don't really like the back of it. I get why they did it because if you've got a back to it, it's probably a lot harder for a lot like more people to actually set up and display.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't like the look of it. Like that sort of turned me off even considering getting it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, it's a good one. I think for me, I can agree with that. The back, I'm glad my wall would look at it more than I would, because yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of rough to look at, but at the
mm,
same time, I just feel like for me the breaking point is just the price. I mean,
yeah.
alone $1,000. I don't know,
See,
dude. That's a couple car payments right there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, because the whole like the big thing with it was like that was American's first $1,000 set, and I'm like, we've in Australia we've got like 3 or 4 $1,000
Didn't
sets
have that. What
already.
y'all
So
talking about?
yeah, I think for us the Death Star is like $1,600. I think. Yeah.
That's wild, bro. That's crazy. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask, like, so in Australia, are you able to get, certain Lego sets easy? Is there any like anything in the collecting universe that's harder to get compared to other countries? Because I know in the UK sometimes they don't even get certain Funkos. Like I have a good friend that lives overseas,
Yeah.
and he always says, like, "Damn, bro, we don't have this. Do you think you could send it to me?" Like we'll have like talk like that, and he's just like, "Yeah, we're never getting that." So it's
Yeah,
like, damn.
wow. Yeah, I think the thing we majorly suffer with is just books. So, like at the moment, like Master of Evil's just come
Oh yeah.
out. If I wanted the hardcover version, I'd need to wait. Well, I am waiting until like another month. Like it comes out like mid December, I think, for us here in Australia for that. Lucky there's like Audible versions and stuff though. But sometimes I find we actually get like I see Funkos. We've got a shop here called Pop Culture, and I don't know if they've got like a link or a hookup or something. But I sometimes find if I put a pre-order in with them for Funkos coming out and stuff like that, I'll get them before like some of my friends in America get them. So
Oh shit.
we're pretty lucky that way. Pop Culture are really good. They're they seem to get basically everything. Um, yeah, Lego and all that we probably get maybe a tad bit later than you guys, but it's always
Mm.
available online and that straight away.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I don't think we suffer too badly. Books is probably the main thing, like getting the physical copy. I think that's
Mm.
probably the main thing. Yeah, we're pretty lucky here, I think.
Well, that's chill at least. I mean, you ain't gotta wait months to years.
Mm,
I mean, that would suck. But yeah,
yeah.
it seems like you guys are able to like get things, especially when you want it. But yeah, dude, I
Mm,
feel like Funko sometimes is slacks. I mean, that's crazy if you're getting stuff, before us, because I mean, we have like
yeah.
two headquarters here,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's hard to, pick up pops at all. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but for the
Right.
most part, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. The last one I remember was when they brought out the Phantom Menace set. I pre-ordered
Mm.
them all together, and yeah, I was getting them before a lot of people. Like a lot of my mates in America were getting them, and that's sort of when it hit me. I was like, oh wow, maybe these. Yeah, I don't know if they've got a hookup or something, but they're doing something right. They're doing something
Damn,
right.
yeah, that's crazy. That's dope though. I mean, yeah, getting it before everyone else, and you're like, yeah, I got
Yeah,
it first. There's something about getting something first
yeah,
compared to everyone else. You're like, yeah, I
yeah.
got it. It's gonna be nothing when you guys pick it up because I already got it. um, but yeah, man, let's shift over into 2026. Like I
Let's do it.
said previously, we got just a few more weeks
Mm,
until 2026 is here. Okay, I want to start with Maul Shadow Lord.
yes.
Now we know the Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out in May, like late
Yep.
May. Where do we and Ahsoka is rumored to come out in like August, September area. Maybe
Hmm.
I've heard some rumors of November.
Yep.
So do we think Maul Shadow Lord is going to come out in like January, February? Like, do you think that's a little too early? Is it
I
going to be too
feel
close? What do you
I
think?
feel like I'm getting like Bad Batch vibes that March sort of time, March April, I reckon. Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be that March April sort of timeline for it. Because by the sounds of it, because I was at Star Wars Celebration like when they announced it and everything. And from the sounds of it, it was basically like done. It was basically done. Um, they even had a trailer and everything ready to show people there. Still waiting for that to come out for like everyone else. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, they showed a few little glimpses and things like that. So by the sounds of it, it was just a bit on the post production end that still needed doing, but it's like they've been working on it for a few years up until that point. Like it's basically done, so I think it's ready to go. Um, yeah, the vibe I'm getting is sort of March April. I think if I had to take a educated guess.
that would be dope. Because that's the thing too, is it's like with that early time slate, I like all eyes are going to be on Mando and Grogu. I mean,
Mm,
that's going to be the big thing for until Starfighter comes out, just because it's a movie going to theaters.
yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, Maul Shadow Lord. I mean, that's a character you can't push to the side. I mean, this is Maul.
Mm,
For Christ's sake, this is
yeah.
the guy. And taking place a year after Revenge of the Sith. I mean, we're talking like a great time. We get to see
Mm,
a little bit of the Bad Batch during this time, and everything is brand new. The Empire is finally, taking ground. Maul is very upset, so I really think we're going to see a lot of cool things. And, there's always those rumors and those hints that, maybe we could see Maul versus Vader. I don't know if
Mm,
that's going to happen. If it happens, I'm there. I will be, 10 toes down watching it from the
yeah.
couch, like, what is going on? Um, but I was lucky enough. I, of course, didn't make it to a Star Wars Celebration in
Yeah.
Japan, but there was a good friend that was there and was
Yes.
live streaming the entire thing. So I was able to see the trailer. So I was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
sick.
Maroc is here, So
Yeah.
that's gonna be so cool to see
Mm.
maybe Maul kill him and the
Yeah.
Night Sisters pick him up and revive him with Night Sister magic. I mean, there's so many good little details. The Darth Talon figure, who is
Mm.
probably not Talon, but very very similar.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what are you expecting from the show? Does
Well,
anything? I mean, you saw it with your own eyes. What is this?
yeah.
What
I
grabbed your
mean,
attention?
yeah, the Talon thing was the big thing because as soon as I saw that Twi'lek with the pattern and everything, you've seen the Talon sketches and all that sort of thing. And
Mm.
I met Sam first thing the next day when I had a photo with him, got something signed and that. And so yeah, like I had to ask. I was like, are we getting like George's treatment here? Like, is there going to be Talon? And, he obviously he just played it off. He's like, oh, you saw that, did you? Oh yeah, cool. um,
Damn.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's the road we're going to go down because he did in press stuff and that he's spoken about how does Maul teach someone, like he's got an apprentice here, what's he try and pass on. Um, yeah, the whole Vader Maul thing. There's argument. There's very compelling arguments for and against it, but the big one that I'm thinking about for this, because I was actually talking to someone about this last week, in Rebels when you see Maul on Malachor there, and we get the whole Twilight of the Apprentice thing, and that he seems very terrified when he can sense Vader, and there's got to be a
Mm.
reason for it. And so I'm wondering if they might try and tie in that reason here. Maybe Vader kills Talon or the Talon-like figure. Who knows? Because obviously by
Wow.
the next time we see him in Solo, he doesn't have an apprentice. But then he takes at the end of Solo. Obviously, you see him take on Lady Kira, which is interesting because then I'll dive into the comics a little bit here because there's a comic series. There's two sets of five. There's one called Crimson Dawn. Sorry, Crimson Reign. I can't remember what the other one is, but basically it's between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And it's about Lady Kira gathering all the criminal underworld organizations. So there's even like the Knights of Ren, they take part in it. Crimson Dawn, the Pikes, like everyone, because her big goal is to take down the Sith. And they actually get very close, like to the point that Palpatine comes out with his lightsaber, like, and you rarely see that. So they get fairly close. Um, but there's flashback sequences in that to Maul teaching Kira. So you're assuming like this is after the end of Solo, and Maul's teaching Kira about the secrets of the Sith and how they operate and what their weaknesses are and all that. And because it's showing how she's using this knowledge that Maul's given her. So obviously he's got the aptitude there to teach an apprentice that I'm sure we'll see the beginnings of here with this Talon-like figure. But yeah, it'll be very interesting because even I just finished the Clone Wars rewatch as well, so it's quite fresh in my mind. It was just seeing like Maul obviously knew quite a bit of Palpatine's plan, but he didn't know the ins and outs and everything. That would have obviously been by Palpatine's design. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see sort of what his thoughts and reactions are to what the Empire is sort of shaping up to be in that formative stage. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, wow. Just right there, that's a lot to throw into it because this
Yeah.
story is gonna at the end of the day, it's gonna tell itself. This
Mm,
is you have Sam Witwer there, Dave Filoni, like all of these heads are in the works, the ones that you want there,
yeah.
that we know from the outside. So it's gonna be good. I do think it's going to help wrap in what we see in Clone Wars season 7, going to Rebels, going to Solo, all those little things. Why do we only see just a little bit of Maul at the end
Mm,
of Solo? So, this could all answer those questions. And that's kind of one of the things too, is, you look at the reaction and you feel that energy that Maul's giving off, of course, when they're on Malachor, like you mentioned.
yeah.
And it's very interesting because they kind of look at him as this like old, like decrepit, like homeless dude of Malachor,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like we know how Maul is, we know what he's
Mm,
doing, but at the same time, you sense exactly the same feelings that he had after he lost to Palpatine after he like killed Savage and was just like pretty much besting Maul. And it's
Mm.
kind of the same. You get that same reaction out of Maul to where he's kind of just like skittish in a way, and it's
Yeah.
weird to see a character like Maul act like that. So that would be really cool, as if it gets to the chance to where like Vader could kill Maul, like it's right there, but instead he chooses
Mm.
not to kill him, or like you said, kill the Talon like character. Like
Mm.
that's nuts, dude. And the fact that Palpatine more than likely knows that Maul is still out there trying to stir the pot. In Clone Wars season 7, I feel like this is a really good spot to lead off, because a year later in Maul Shadow Lord, this is
Mm.
where we're beginning that story. So it's going to be super, super interesting to see how they even start the first episode. Like, where are we
Mm.
starting the story? There's so much story that can be told with Maul. Um, and I mean, everything that they're going up against. I don't know what the main um, antagonists are,
Mm.
because, Sam Witwer was saying that Maul isn't like a bad guy, but he isn't a good guy. You get
Yeah.
that sense of, he's kind of his own character. He's kind of standing up for his own thing, but I do really love the crime syndicate aspect. And I love the Book of Boba Fett, but I was hoping that we would get just a little bit more of Boba, like actually being a crime boss, and
Yeah.
more so instead of like a crime organizer. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
one of those things where I'm like, okay, maybe we can see that side with Maul. And I mean, Maul's another cool character. So, I mean, I'm down for that.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, thinking about it, I suppose Maul's story is one of, constant rises and then just the most dramatic falls. He builds, he falls, he builds, he falls. And so maybe, this is another chapter in that. He's building whatever he's building, he's got an apprentice and all that, and then he falls and Talon dies. And maybe it's Palpatine's way of just keeping his foot on his throat, maybe. Because obviously he had the chance
Man,
to kill him in Clone Wars, and obviously he didn't. I would love to have seen, because Palpatine, like when he's like throwing all that force lightning and that at him, he says, I won't kill you because I've got a use for you. And then the next time we see Maul, is in season 7 in that Mandalore arc. So I would love to know, because obviously Palpatine knows he's out there. I would just love to know what his use for him was. Maybe, yeah, I would absolutely love to know, because obviously he knows he's out there. Um, so yeah, it would be very interesting. I'm a big fan of the Palpatine Maul dynamic, because at this
yeah.
point he's just an annoying bug to Palpatine.
Yeah. I mean, kind of looking at it, I mean, you could kind of look at Maul being useful in the sense of keeping Ahsoka distracted. Pretty
Mm,
much knowing that Maul is going to be like, I know what Palpatine's doing, because we know that Palpatine's probably told Maul like the same things he would tell Anakin.
mm,
Just to keep him, and then get rid of him when he could. And I think Obi-Wan actually helped Palpatine out in that sense a little bit.
mm,
And then, going into getting Dooku, and it's the same thing. Teach him up, teach him up. We see that in Tales of the Jedi. And then once he reaches his demise in Revenge of the Sith to Anakin, he sees that perfect opportunity to where he's like, here we go. I finally got my
yeah.
guy. I got my number 1 draft pick. He's right here. Um, and dude, yeah, it's nuts. So I really do think that Maul Shadow Lord is going to show that
Yeah.
dynamic. And I mean, the thing that I think is really cool, like with Marak, that's a
Mm,
Ahsoka character, one of the Inquisitors. I feel like maybe Palpatine's like, look, let's send some of the Inquisitors, let's give them some extra training, go
yeah.
out, try to, either distract Maul, keep him away, kill Maul, who knows?
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be cool to see, Marak back again. And I personally think that Maul's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then maybe the Night Sisters stumble upon him, or who knows what the tie is. I mean, maybe Morgan Elsbeth and the Night Sisters have some connection to the Sith after all. They helped with the
Mm.
Empire a little bit. So I mean, we'll see a little bit. But yeah, dude, like, is there anything else with Maul Shadow Lord that you kind of expect to see?
Um, I don't think so. I think the last little note I had on the Maul Palpatine thing was there's a little excerpt in one of the Vader comics where Palpatine's talking to Vader about like the previous 2 apprentices, and just paraphrasing, but the vibe of the conversation was that Maul was an unfortunate loss, but Dooku was a necessary loss. So essentially, yeah, Dooku was just a tool for from Maul to Anakin, But Maul was at the beginning, part of the major plan. But then obviously, everything changed. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's definitely one of the. It's definitely a series that I'm super keen for.
Yeah. Yeah, everything worked out pretty well for Palpatine until the end. So, I always love to say that Palpatine was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. I
Big
mean,
time.
he, a mastermind, got pretty much everything done in his way. And I mean, if you even look at the Clone Wars, that is the one of the fakest wars in like all of cinema. Like it was just
Yeah.
not needed at all, but that's just the power of Palpatine.
Mm.
Um, and it was all useful just to lead up to obtaining the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker. Just, I mean, like they say, man, absolute cinema. That's
Yeah.
just what it is. Um, so, but yeah, dude, that's absolutely amazing. I can't wait. I'm hoping it's a little earlier, in the year, of course, January, February,
Mm,
March, that little timeline there, that'll work out perfectly.
for sure.
Um, I haven't heard of anything of it being, 8 episodes, 12 episodes. I'm not too sure on that. I would hope for at least 8. That would be great.
Yeah.
But
We'll
sounds pretty
see.
straight. But yeah, we just got to sit back and, see what happens. um, but I think, and maybe this is a hot take, but I don't
Yes.
know with too many movies that are coming out next year. I know of a couple, but I don't
Yeah.
think anything will stand up to Mandalorian and Grogu. I know Marvel
Hmm.
has some films coming out. I'm not a huge Marvel guy. I'm not a
Yeah.
huge, superhero guy, which no hate to the Marvel
Yeah.
and DC fans, but I just feel like this year Star Wars is going to get you. It's going to
Yeah.
be Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. I think this is going to be the biggest movie of the year. We can maybe check back on this in May,
Yeah.
maybe sometime in the summer. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say it. It's going to be the biggest movie. How hype are you for The Mandalorian and Grogu?
Oh, dude, I'm just so keen to see Star Wars back in cinemas. It's gonna be so good, man. Just seeing that Star Wars logo pop up on the big screen again for the first time.
Yes.
And I mean, we've had reruns and stuff, but for the first time since 2019, it'll be pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool. I've got, yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what way they go with the movie. Um, but yeah, no, it'll just be good to see it back on the big screen after it'll be 7 years, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, that'll help. I mean, the thing is too is obviously the last movie we got, Rise of Skywalker. Um, it's been a while. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That was like at the beginning of COVID. That was like when the word was getting tossed around, and we're like, oh my god, what's going on? And it was just kind of like, okay, let's get away for a second. Let's go see this last Star Wars before the world shuts down.
yeah,
And so things have not been the same. So this is where we can really jump the ship, and the Mandalorian and Grogu just completely like bring Star Wars back.
yeah.
Um, and like you said, seeing Star Wars on the screen, do you think we're going to get some sort of kind of title crawl? Do you think we're going to get a little synopsis? Like the Skeleton Crew had, Ahsoka had. Do you think we're going to get something kind of like that? Because that is a
Yeah,
huge thing in Star Wars, especially
yeah,
in the movie.
yeah. That's what I was wondering. I was leaning towards more. What you remember what they did with Ahsoka at the start of that first episode, like the red bits of text. I was almost leaning
So
towards that.
perfect.
Yeah, I was almost leaning towards something like that. But yeah, yeah, that'd probably be my guess. I'm not sure if we'll get that crawl or not, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and hopefully it's something good. Um, I don't know if you too into leaks and rumors. Do you stay on top of those? Do you just kind
I
of let it blow over?
I try to. I'm one of those guys that like when I'm really into something, obviously like Star Wars, like I need to know everything about everything.
Oh yeah,
So I try to. There'd obviously be little bits here and there that probably slip through the cracks, but yeah,
yeah,
I've got like tweet notifications and that on for a few different accounts that sort of seem to have decent sources and that. So yeah, I try.
nice, cool. Because I know some people are like, spoilers, leaks. I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I do. Me personally, though, I think it's a good positive thing for the community because it gets
mm,
us talking. It gets
100%.
us all thinking of different things. And for the most part, I don't think it's really a negative thing,
Yeah,
unless it's just like, okay, here's like 8 seconds of the movie. It's posted. Someone leaked it. Like that would be dumb.
yeah,
But at the same time, I'm still like, what was that? But
yeah.
personally, I have seen that a member of the Shadow Council will be
Mm,
making his appearance in the Mandalorian and Grogu, which a lot of people were like, "Oh, we have to get Thrawn at the end of this film," and me being one of them, I'm like, to connect the dots, if we're going into this Filoni Endgame movie, if we're tying in Ahsoka, Skeleton
mm,
Crew, Book of Boba Fett into the Mandoverse, we got to see Thrawn. He's the big threat
mm,
now. I mean, what I feel like up until the Filoni Endgame movie, we need to see Thrawn and his little empire winning at the end of every series, every movie, win,
mhm,
win, win, to kind of give us that struggle.
mhm,
Watching simply our hero characters, Mando, Din Djarin, Grogu, Bo-Katan, Boba, like whoever decides to show up. I really think that Thrawn sitting in the background is a terrible thing. I think it
yeah,
is not good for the galaxy. They're cooked. But we got to have something. We have to have that antagonist. We have to have that plot line to where it's like, what is the problem here? Because I mean, how many times have we almost seen Din Djarin die? I mean, probably one time in every single episode of The Mandalorian,
yeah,
even in the Book of Boba Fett. So I don't know. I feel like stakes really have to be high, but not necessarily with the Mandalorian and Grogu. This is where we can kind of chill. Let's explore this new little era, new little side missions. Brandon Wayne was actually speaking about how it's kind of fresh, it's
yeah,
new. So it seems like we're going to get a different story from Mando season 1 and 2. But I'm just really looking forward to seeing Grogu a little bit older, Din Djarin taking on a new role with the New Republic, and I'm really hoping that we get to see I know it's going to happen, but we're going to see a lot of Din Djarin just being a badass. I mean,
yeah,
seeing that on the big screen is what's gonna, bring in people outside you and me, the casuals, the ones
yeah.
that just want to be there, just to see baby Yoda on the screen.
Mm.
So yeah, dude, I am so excited. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah. On the Thrawn thing, I think it's an interesting one because I think we can see him, but I think we can only see him like a little bit. Like he can't do anything that changes too much from what we've seen. Like he can't do anything to the Ahsoka story because you remember like all that sort of backlash and that with like people like when Grogu got given back to Din in the Book of Boba Fett, and then you go to Mando season 3 and he's back with Din. And so I know
Yeah.
most of us would like we watch everything. But then you probably get like the just like the casuals who've probably like been introduced to Star Wars through the Mandalorian. They only watch the Mandalorian, so when they go from season 2 to 3, they're probably caught out a little bit. Um, so yeah, I don't think you can. That's probably the catch 22 there. Like you want to see Thrawn, and I would absolutely love to see him. I think you can see him, but he can't do anything too like story changing unless it's sort of back in Ahsoka before we get that movie. Um, yeah, I wonder who the Shadow Council member. It could be that Pelion guy. I'm wondering if we might see
Oh,
him. Because that
yes.
might be a way to connect Thrawn to it as well. Because obviously that's his guy. But I remember Embo was leaked. Remember that bounty hunter Embo? He got leaked as
Yeah.
like the bad guy for it. So that's sort of interesting. Yeah, that'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and Jeremy Allen White is saying that we're going to see a lot of Rod of the Hut.
yeah,
So like, what in the world's going on? Are we going to see, Rada on the new Razor Crest? What's going on? Is this why Din Djarin gets a Razor Crest? Because he can't fit a hut inside of the N1. I mean, we have to have that answered. Like
Mm,
it's quite simple. But yeah, I mean, the Shadow Council is also very interesting because in Mando season
mm,
3, we see Moff Gideon and them talking about Thrawn, and he's like, where's Thrawn? I don't see
yeah,
Thrawn. I haven't heard of Thrawn in years. And they're just like, all right, whatever.
you'll see.
And
You'll see.
that's going to be crazy when he comes
Yeah.
back. So yeah, I mean, it's there. It's definitely going to happen. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good thing to bring in, at least a member of the Shadow Council.
Mm,
Maybe Rhoda's like running away. Maybe this is where Embo comes in. Maybe he's,
maybe.
has a bounty out for
Yeah.
Rhoda the Hutt, and Mando's like, I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's like, what is Rhoda's purpose?
Yeah.
What are we to expect from him? I just have no idea.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be a tricky one. I know with the in the trailer, how you see those AT-ATs on like that cliffside.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, one of them. They actually made like a one of one life size, like scaled. So they've actually built one, and I was like, I need to see that, and I need to see that a photo of that somewhere. Because I was sitting down in a hall the other day with a mate, and we're talking, and we're like, we're trying to measure out like how big would this be? Like how big would this have to be? Yeah, I just need to see a photo of that somewhere. That would be massive.
Yeah, dude. And also, like, where do you put that thing? Like, I don't know, maybe just prop it outside of like George Lucas's museum, like that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be
But
so cool.
but yeah, actually really crazy how they films these days. I mean, a lot of the things which you always pray, a lot of effects that are actually used in person. So like an actual like scaled AT-AT is like
Mm,
actually nefarious. Like I don't think
yeah,
anyone's actually thinking about like how crazy that is.
yeah.
Um,
And then fitting
so
that in
I
the
mean,
studio and everything, it'd be
oh
nuts.
yeah,
Be
no,
nuts.
this is insane. Um, but yeah, I mean, Mando and Grogu. I think after season 3 of The Mandalorian, we're definitely going to take a step forward. I mean, we see it was kind of more so the Mandalorians. We got to see everyone come
Yeah.
together. Bo-Katan got a good time to shine. Grogu is now a Mandalorian foundling officially.
Yeah.
Um, and he is, they got the clan of two that's gonna, roll forward into this movie. And yeah, I think for the most part, I think there's gonna be a lot of storytelling, but at the same time, I think they're gonna keep it pretty normal, if that makes sense, just because I
Yeah.
mean you're gonna have a lot of casuals in there. You gotta make overall it has to be a good movie. It can't just
Yeah.
call to all of us nerds who are just like, oh, I need to know that extended lore, when it's just
Yeah.
like this is going to be a big movie. Let's roll with that. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, it's going to be the biggest movie of the year. It's just going to be. And I'm not taking no for an answer.
It's just gonna be the biggest
Yeah.
film.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mandalorian and Grogu 2026 on top. Um but unless you got anything else you want to roll into the last part, Ahsoka
I
season
think
2.
yeah, because we don't really know a lot about Mando and Grogu yet. Like we've obviously got a trailer that shows us a few little bits and pieces. But yeah, all in all, we still don't know a whole lot. There's a lot of mystery surrounding it. So yeah, it's I'm waiting for more to come out. And the trailer we got, which was because we got one at Celebration for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
there was
that
a
one was
couple.
completely different than the one the official one.
Yeah, because I was trying to remember what we saw, and then the one that they put out, yeah, a month or so ago. Yeah, I was like, there's some bits in there I don't remember seeing, like the bit with Grogu and that in the sewers and that. Didn't see that. But yeah, I feel like it felt like a bit of a teaser trailer. I think we'll get like a proper. I think we'll get a bit more of an in depth one soon.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Ahsoka season 2, I'm so keen for that.
Yeah, dude. I saw you and Blore splitting
Yes.
the universe. World Between Worlds, no World Between Worlds. Me personally, not just because I have you on the show today, but
Yeah.
World Between Worlds. Did I like it at first? No. But
Yeah.
once I understood it and actually like watched Rebels, I was like, oh yeah, this makes
My man.
sense.
My
So
man.
so no sneak disses to anybody. I'm just saying the World Between Worlds, it's set up beautifully. It helps, and it kind of helps you understand Force ghosts, their
Mm,
nature. We just got introduced what the netherworld of the Force actually
yeah.
looks like. So there's a lot of things, to where this makes sense, and how, Yoda can just randomly show up and see, an old Luke Skywalker and give him a final lesson. Like it's
Yeah.
the world between worlds it has to be there. Uh,
Yeah.
and Ahsoka season 1, we get to see that for the first time in live action, and I think it was just done beautifully. It couldn't have been done
Mm,
any other way, in my opinion. But Ahsoka season 2, all rumors and leaks aside, it's
yeah.
going to be impeccable, and I can't wait. Uh, Go ahead, man. Floor is yours. Let us know what you think for Ahsoka season
Oh,
2.
dude. So
What
I
you
mean,
expect?
I was already keen for it, and then so at I don't know if I've seen a couple photos of it online, but I haven't seen like a video or anything of the full thing. At Celebration, I went to the Ahsoka panel. Obviously, it was Filoni, it was Favreau, it was Rosario, and it was Hayden there. And they were talking about bits, and because they started filming the weekend after
Yeah, which
Celebration.
is crazy.
Yeah. And so they were there, and then at the end, they gave us because Filoni was saying when he saw A New Hope in cinemas, he was like, they hadn't even started filming Empire Strikes Back or anything, but he got they gave him a trailer, and he's like, how? And he was like saying, oh, I was like, how'd they do that and all that? It was basically just a bunch of sketches they turned into like a stop motion kind of thing. Well, it wasn't even stop motion; it was just different scenes in that they'd sketched. And so that was what they gave us. It was like your old 1950s style trailer. It was just the images with like that old fashioned voiceover, like real grainy images and all that. Um, and I wish I had it on camera, but I've got some of the images like burnt into my head. And one of them, the one that really, really stood out to me was I swear it was the sun. I swear I saw the sun in it, because they had the it was the pale white face with the two red stripes. But the only difference was he had like a Bane style mask on his
Mm,
face. Um, but yeah, so
interesting.
I'm willing to die on the hill that, yeah, the sun's going to be in it, and Witwer's going to play him, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm so big on that. I think the sun's going to be in it. As for what else we're going to get, obviously there's that big rumor. I just did a video on it too. That we're meant to begin this big fight scene between Balin and Anakin.
Yes,
And
yes.
where that could take place, what that could lead to, is fascinating to me. Like I said, I did a video on it. That could lead to Abeloth. There's obviously all those leaks. Um, what can we get with possible flashback sequences? I'm almost certain we're going to see Ewan in some Clone Wars flashbacks. Um, yeah, there's I mean, there's a lot. Where do you want to start? Abeloth, Balin, Thrawn.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot going on. I don't know how they're going to pack this into 8 episodes, but yeah, everything that seems to be coming out of it, like from what Rosario and that's been saying, is it's just everything's just bigger and better.
that's
Yeah,
crazy too.
it's going to be
That
pretty
gives you
nuts.
goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be pretty nuts.
My thing is, I feel like, I mean, even with some of those sketches, like I've seen the one where it's like Ahsoka up against this wall, and there's
Yes.
like that big like robot creature, like with a hand
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So I've seen, like Mike from A Guy Who Loves Star Wars, like I watched one of his videos and he was trying to describe how that robot could essentially be hiding, or not hiding, but basically looking out and protecting Abeloth, keeping her like,
Mm,
enslaved or jailed, prisoned, whatever she is.
mm,
And Ahsoka has to get past that, trying to find Balin. Or there's like
mm.
that snowy mountain where you see
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Sabine going up the hill.
Yeah.
Maybe they're tracking down Balin, trying to see where he
Yeah.
went, because I mean, obviously he has a complete head start. He was already off and wandering after Ahsoka was going after Thrawn. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he has a huge head start. Where's he going? But with Sam Witwer being the son, what you do, and we kind of mentioned it, you and I talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu with the Shadow
Mm,
Council, is you just kind of, trickle in those tidbits, and you don't want to show too much, because I mean, you gotta keep it kind of casual.
yeah.
So to see Ahsoka season 2, necessarily you don't have to watch Rebels. Should
Mm,
you? Yes, but you do not have to. It
yeah.
will help the story a little bit better, of course, if you watch Rebels. But if you didn't see the Clone Wars, even, you don't know really what the Mortis gods are. So what
Mm,
you do is, we get the little bit of Siege of Mandalore, we get the Battle of Ryloth, we get those little flashbacks that we did in season 1, and they're like maybe 7 to 10 minutes long. I mean, perfectly timed.
yeah.
But who says we don't get a flashback sequence? Which, here's where we bring in Ewan McGregor, Sam Witwer as a son. We get to see the Mortis arc explained in live action for those casual
Mm,
viewers. That way,
yeah.
they don't have to go back and go to season 3 or 4 of the Clone Wars, because for them, I don't think they want to do all that.
Yeah.
They want to watch this live action appearance, of Ahsoka's story. But this is where you bring in these characters, and like, could you imagine seeing Hayden, or Ariana Greenblatt and Ewan McGregor
Mm,
back on screen again? Like, I'm talking nobody around me, my wife, my brother, because we always watch the new stuff together.
yeah.
You guys have to be quiet.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't want to hear a peep. I
Yeah.
won't be speaking, so y'all won't have to worry about me. Eyes on the TV.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely epic, dude. And like, who's gonna
Mm,
play the father? The daughter. I mean, Holy crap, dude. Like in
Yeah,
just 8 to 15 minutes, that's all you need. You
yeah,
can get that story hashed out quickly. Like,
100%.
wow, could be
Yeah.
wild.
And then, like, even if they bring in Abeloth, like, I remember start of this year, there were, like, Natalie Portman rumors for, like, a split second, and they, like, got shut down. But then I think there's been, like, this little lurking rumor of, because we know Abeloth can, assume different bodies and vessels and that sort of thing. There's the whole, angle of what if she assumes a Padme identity and comes out, in a way to, throw Anakin off. It'll just there's so much they could do. It'd be ridiculous.
Dude, could you imagine Hayden finally seeing Padme after all of those years as Vader trying to find her and, bring her back?
Oh,
And those
man.
attempts, like, that is how you break Anakin's heart. That's how you break
Mm,
our hearts. I've
mm,
personally, and I'm not trying to sound like a really tough guy, I've only cried at Star Wars once,
yeah.
and it's the scene that's on your arm.
That's when I
The
cried too, dude. I cried there
Dude,
too.
I sat there and was like, "I'm
I was
fucking
bawling my eyes
crying.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
crying, bro." Like, that's
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and I think if Abeloth took the Force or took the form of, a Natalie Portman Padme,
Mm.
oh my god, dude, like, my arms are sweating. I don't like
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, do you think Dave Filoni could do something like that? Do you think he
I
could
think if anyone could, it would be Dave Filoni. He's the sort of guy that would
uh,
do something because he makes stuff that he knows we wanna see, like, he's like the king of fan service, but it's the best thing ever. Like, everything he's given us, like, I'm his biggest fan. Everything he's given us, I've absolutely loved. Yeah, if anyone was to do it, it would be that man right there.
dude, I know he said he heard us, he's gonna give us more Chopper, so that's cool. So yeah, he sounds like a man of his word, but oh my
Yeah.
god, dude, like, it gets you thinking, and we won't know until maybe this time next year even.
Mm.
So we still got a while, which sucks, but at the same time, that would
There's
just suck.
there's just so many there's so many different things going on. There's so many ways they can go about it. Because that's the other thing, he said at Celebration is there's gonna be, like, a massive, space battle, going on between Akbar and Thrawn. So they're gonna
Mm,
be going at it there. Um, so yeah, there's gonna be so much going, and then obviously there's the bits going on Dathomir, which is gonna be really cool. There's gonna be so much going on. But yeah, more live action Dathomir will be really cool too. I'm looking forward to that.
yes, and what was really cool is, seeing it in the Clone Wars,
Mm,
tells the Empire later. What is really, really cool is the Jedi Survivor game. You get that's I feel like that's the closest little thing to live action in a sense. Of course, it's animated; it's a damn game, but
yeah,
it was done so well to where you're like, wow, I can really capture this. And of course, you get a little free roam moments to where you can kind of like look around and take in everything. But a live action Dathomir is going to be insane. And like one scene that I really hope we see is Thrawn just like overlooking into the red, dusty sky of Dathomir, hands
mm,
behind his back, and literally just watches all of these bodies just rise from these night
mm,
mothers that have been in Peridia for however long, seeing
yeah,
them come back, maybe if they're from Dathomir to, begin, but they're finally here. Could you imagine the force and the power that they can use in the main galaxy? They could
yeah,
probably just bring everything up. And I mean, who knows if we get like another like Savage Opress type character, like a
yeah,
Savage 2.0. Like they could definitely resurrect characters to bring back. And I did not like the Maul theory when I heard that. Like everyone talking about like, oh, they're gonna revive Maul and like here he is
yeah,
live action again. Like, no,
yeah,
don't give me that. I don't want that. But at the same time, like if we get like a night brother of some sort, bring him back, I think that would be
mm.
pretty cool. But yeah.
My theory, I made a theory video. This might have been just after Ahsoka finished. So this is, yeah, like 2 years ago or something. I made a video, and I'm not as strong on it now, but I still think it might be cool to see. And the only reason I made it was just there was a few like random links and that I sort of picked up on. But you remember like Tara Malikos from the Survivor game?
Oh yeah.
So obviously where like you kill him as Cal and that he gets buried underground in the tomb of Kajet. And then you see on Peridia, A bunch of those. Remember how there was all those engravings and stuff on all the buildings and that on Peridia? And I remember there was like a weekly thing on Twitter where you'd see people like translating what those runes and all that meant. And there was quite a few about Khajet and all that. And so I was trying to put like the links together, and I was like, what if? I was like, what if they went back? Obviously, there's links to Khajet somewhere on Peridia. So what if they come back to Dathomir, go to the tomb of Khajet, sense this dark side presence, bring up Tara Malikos, and then all of a sudden Thrawn has a little dark side user there. Um,
Oh.
I was like, yeah, it's like picking a needle in a haystack, but I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. I just saw those Khajet things. I was like, what if? What if?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing though, is that like it makes sense. It's not necessarily a reach per se. I
Mm,
mean, it's there. I mean, you already get the connections. I mean, how many times does Star Wars give us connections and we're just like
yeah,
completely wrong on the rumor?
yeah,
That's something I always joke about on my channel. Is it's like, guys, I love making these theory videos, but I am like 2 for like 997. Like I don't know what I'm doing, you know.
yeah.
But it's so fun to think of like all the endless possibilities. And
Mm,
I mean, quite frankly, they want to keep it simple to where the story always lines up. I mean, there's even like tidbits in Ahsoka where you're looking back like at A New Hope and you're like, oh yeah, that can still check. And then
mm,
you know look forward to the sequel trilogy and you're like, okay, that can still hold up. So I mean, you have
yeah,
to you have to look at how everything's kind of scripted and played out. But
yeah,
I don't know, dude. Ahsoka season 2 could be one of those things where like like how true are some of these leaks and rumors going to be? I mean, I don't
yeah,
think everything's going to be true, but at the same time, I feel like it's a good like playground to kind of look at all of these different aspects because I
yeah,
mean, when people talk about Balin and Anakin fighting, I immediately think to how Balin talked to Ahsoka and was like, "We knew Anakin, we knew what he was in the Order. You know, we only some got to see him and what he became." So my idea was like maybe like we get to see like a young Balin.
mm,
Maybe, I mean, I don't know who could survive fighting off Anakin at the Jedi Temple, but I just had this
yeah,
idea that we get a flashback because I mean, we've gotten so many Order 66 flashbacks, so why not give us
yeah,
another one with Balin's skull like leaving the temple and kind of gets like bombarded by the 501st, and here comes Anakin. So they have
yeah,
kind of like a battle, but somehow, some way, Balin is able to get away.
mm,
So that could be the thing that turned Balin against the Jedi Order, being like, this entire time, like, what's going on? You know, because he
mm,
sees Anakin with a blue blade. Like, how does he know that he's fallen to the dark side unless, he
yeah,
just senses that or gets the hint pretty much? Because, I mean, us
yeah,
as viewers, we understand. Um, but like maybe that's the fight. Maybe that's
yeah,
the sequence. But I think one in the world between worlds or however they meet, it's gonna be cool. I mean,
yeah,
regardless.
yeah. Because that was sort of what I discussed in my video. I was like, it's either in the world between worlds or Peridia. You've either got Anakin coming out as a Force ghost going at him. You've either got Balin going into the world between worlds, like that maybe there's a gateway to it, to where he's traveling, or the other option is Abeloth wants to get into the world between worlds because she sees the same power in it as Palpatine did, and so she just adopts Balin as a vessel and goes in there, and Anakin obviously puts up a fight. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's there's so many ways they can go with it. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is you have to like if the Abeloth thing is true. I mean, there's so many possibilities. One thing though with Abeloth, I'm
Mm.
praying is if she's to take a vessel, I want to see a moment where and I'm a huge horror fan, so I would this is
Oh, okay.
fan service to me.
Yeah.
I want one sequence where we see maybe Shin Hati from behind, but when she
Ooh.
turns around, you see this big nasty ass smile.
Yeah.
Like Abeloth has taken over Shin either briefly or for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
I mean, Ivana Sakno has that look to her. You
Yeah.
know,
Hundred
we've
percent.
if you've seen Megan 2.0, like you
Yeah.
kind of get some of that aspect to where she can like act kind of demonic in a sense or horror-ish, so you can really see her take on a role in a spooky way. So I mean, oh my goodness, dude, could you
Yeah.
imagine? And I mean,
Hundred
all the
percent.
old like sketch arts of Abeloth, she has that real light blonde
Mm.
hair. Shinhati has light blonde hair.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, crazy. That's just one
Yeah.
thing I want to see. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sick because that is another storyline there. Like, obviously, we're all focused on Balin and Anakin and Ahsoka and what they're doing, but Shin's sort of been cast to the side, and you see her finding, the Raiders to sort of have a group to travel with. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there because Ahsoka reached out a couple times to her, so I wonder if that she might be able to reach out once more or something. But yeah, that'll be another interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, very weird. Well, my last question to you, which is perfect because
Oh,
it's Ahsoka season 2. Do you think Ahsoka ever makes it back to the main galaxy?
ooh, I think so. I think she does. I think she does.
I'm very, very down the middle. I think 50-50.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like this would be a good place if she is to die or take on what she has with the connection with the daughter,
yeah,
if that's her meaning, her purpose, is to, maybe block it. Maybe she's the one that traps Abeloth or the one that traps the son or Balin, whatever that story continues
yeah,
to be. And she has to, sacrifice herself in a way to where this is what restores everything. Abeloth being the big character that she is, maybe this could be the chance where Ahsoka then again has to sacrifice herself to keep her locked away.
yeah,
But then again, Ahsoka going back to the main galaxy, maybe just living out old age, dying. That'd be,
yeah.
very sentimental as well. But yeah, I'm 50-50. I'm torn. I could see both.
It's a good point because when I was doing research for my video, I was reading up on like Abeloth's story and everything because it takes place over like 7 or 8 books, and yeah, that was how they kept her imprisoned. So after they imprisoned her the initial time, it was basically whenever the Force got disrupted or anything, she was able to break out. And so when she broke out, the son and the daughter had to return and imprison her together. So I was like, maybe that could be how the reasoning for the son being in it too is like they try and imprison her because obviously they need to do it together. So who knows? But yeah,
Mm, that could be
yeah,
interesting. I mean, if
yeah,
we do look at what's going on in the main galaxy, we have, Thrawn versus the New Republic.
yeah,
Leia could be an image. Hera, Ezra's back. He's going to want to,
mm,
get back to the basics once again. Thrawn's army of whatever with the, Night Mothers. They have that story, and then you have this other story back in Peridia with
yeah,
Ahsoka, Anakin, Sabine, Shin, Balin, potentially Abeloth, so it's going to be pretty nutty because we
mm,
have two different stories going on in two different galaxies, which is just insane. I feel like a
yeah,
lot of people don't even take that for what it is because Ahsoka season 1 put us in an entirely different galaxy. I feel like
yeah,
if anyone was going to put us in another galaxy, it would have been George himself. So
mm,
just to know, like, Dave is swinging for the fences. I mean,
yeah,
we're in another galaxy, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. Um, but yeah, that was the last thing I want to brush upon. It's just like,
yeah, of
do you
course,
think Ahsoka makes it back? Is that where that's her purpose? Who knows? Who
yeah,
knows? But it'd be kind of cool to see Rosario and Sam Witwer trapping down Abeloth one last time. Maybe they
yeah,
both have to go to seal the deal.
maybe,
But it's gonna be scary. I mean, if that is the case, maybe we don't get Abeloth. Who knows?
yeah,
But at the same time, gonna be crazy.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, I really appreciated this episode here. This was great. But just want to thank you, of course, first and foremost. But I'm gonna give the floor to you. Let everyone know where they can find you, what your channel's about, and I mean, you started a new journey, man. So let everyone know where they can find you.
I did start a new journey. Yeah, so you guys can find me, Commander Jesse, CT5597, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. They're definitely the main three. I've got X Twitter as well. Use it here and there. But yeah, no, thank you so much for having me on, dude. That was fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And always, I mean, for the most part, everyone I have on, you're always welcome back. If you ever want to get together, do a little live stream or,
Yeah, of
do
course.
another podcast of some sort. I mean, we do take kind of, seasonal breaks with
Yep.
the podcast, but I mean, always down for a live stream. But yeah, man, I mean, glad to have you on. I mean, I'm super excited for you in this new journey. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Like you're
It's
doing
crazy
it,
to me.
so yeah, always, kudos, man, kudos. But yeah, guys, make sure you go follow Commander Jesse, everything, YouTube, all the way to Instagram and the socials. Those will all be linked down below. So you don't have an excuse to not follow. So stay locked in, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. This is the way.